up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone's having an awesome day. So instead of doing another POV video this week, because I'm pretty sure you guys are probably sick of seeing the POV camera out at this point, mainly because the audio quality is so bad, thought I'd change things up a little bit. I filmed a video out with the truck today. I just didn't like how it turned out. I'd also even filmed with the POV camera today as well, which included me getting very angry at a minivan driver because they passed a mail truck about hit me head on. So fun stuff today. But I thought instead of doing either of those videos, because I really didn't like how the second one turned out, and I just didn't want to post a POV clip, so I'm saving my road rage for the GoPro archives. Anyway, this video is just going to be kind of like a cool little, let's talk about what I need to do next year, my goals for next year with the truck. I know it's really early to talk about it, but what all I'm going to have done to get to that point. So a lot of people have asked me why I haven't gone overkill with the lowering look yet. A lot of people have noticed that I've had people ask me about putting bags on the truck. Am I going to bag the truck? Have I considered bagging the truck? In all honesty, I'd planned on it originally before I'd really gotten into the performance aspect of things, and I decided against it, mainly because there aren't any bag kits available for the truck. If I was going to put air ride on the truck, it would cost me thousands upon thousands of dollars in fabricating a kit to do that. And I decided really I was against the idea of it. I wanted it to be somewhat streetable still. I didn't want to worry about blowing a bag out and being in trouble. So that's why it stayed static this long. I don't plan on going to air ride at all or air suspension on the truck at all. Even though it would be pretty cool. I mean, the completely flat out on the ground look would look really cool in the truck, and not gonna lie. But with how I'm driving the truck every day, it's not a show truck by any means. I drive it all the time. I'd rather be safer than sorry. So another reason why is because I plan on racing the truck next year in a semi-competitive format. To the point where I'm going to the drag strip and running every once in a while, but not to the point where I'm running every single weekend, going to every single test and tune I can possibly go to. I plan on making a few events, and obviously a few test and tunes as well. I've got plans to run next year in the Friday Night Drag Series, Orlando Speedways, at least once for a test and tune run. I've got plans to run at Street to Strip next year, which is one of Michael's favorites events. It's an 8th mile event. I'm not crazy about 8th mile. I prefer quarter, but I can run 8th mile no problem. It'll give me a lot of good practice for Streetcar Takeover next year, which is where I really plan on coming into my own and trying to take the sport track record down. Currently shown on drag times is a 16:1 at 83 miles an hour, which is, it doesn't sound fast because it isn't really. But my goal is to run a 15.7 or higher. As if I'm still naturally aspirated. Obviously, I'm supercharged. I'm aiming for 14, 13, 12 zone. The truck weighs about 39 to 4,000 pounds, so 3,900 to 4,000 pounds. So it's a pretty lightweight truck for what it is, compared to other trucks of its size. It's lighter than the new GT500. It's lighter than most of Mopar's lineup. And it's lighter, well, it isn't lighter than anything Chevy offers to my knowledge. It's actually, a little heavier than the Camaro and the Corvette. But compared to a lot of other, modern muscle cars, it's lighter, so at least I've got that on my side. Granted, the anemic engine it has in it is not going anywhere. I plan on building the engine, as all of you guys know. To an extent, I'm not going fully for short block or anything. I'm not taking the It's Just a 6 route, because even though it's a lot cheaper than a Coyote, the 4.0 is still about a $10,000, $12,000 engine to build, fully forged and everything, with a supercharger or turbo kit. So obviously, I'm not going to spend that much. I plan on doing as much as I can with the stop block. I don't plan on pushing for 600, 700 horsepower on that engine without 5.0 swapping at first, which isn't going to happen because I can't afford the downtime. And swaps never seem to go right the first time unless you're really experienced with it. I never even pulled an engine, so I'm definitely not going that route. Pretty much, what am I going to need to do? So the plans for next year to run, like I said, I want to run about a 15.7. That's kind of the goal for naturally aspirated. I'm probably going to shoot for a 14.5 or a 13.9 with a boosted setup, depending on how much boost I'm running, how much power it makes, etc., etc. So what am I going to need? So the essentials. The essentials are pretty much the things I'm going to need the most. For safety equipment wise, obviously a helmet. I'm probably gonna. I've actually, my mom's already had to start making Christmas wish lists and stuff, and I put the helmet on there. It's the most expensive thing on my list. It's a race quip helmet. It's about $170, and it's Snell SA 2015 rated. I don't know if they're about to come out with a 2020 rating, so hopefully my helmet doesn't go out of obsolete as soon as I get it. Because that would suck. That would make me really upset. I plan on possibly getting a fire suit just for safety. Do I really think that anything's going to happen? Probably not, but you never know. And plus, it'd be nice to have if I ever do build a full-on drag car years down the road. I'm not having to spend the money later on. I'll have it, and hopefully I won't, gain too much more weight. I'm about to get back into my crazy exercise regimen I had before. I wouldn't say crazy, but my exercise regimen I had going a few months prior before I almost got ran over, and it kind of pushed me out of that. So yeah, that's kind of that. Plan on possibly getting a fire suit, gloves, boots, or racing shoes, all that stuff, just for safety, just in case, because you never know what's going to happen. It's unpredictable what can happen. Your car may catch fire at any second, really. So I'd rather be safer than sorry on that end. It's overkill, I know, but just be safer for me. Pretty much from there, for the truck end, it's going to need a few things. For my case, I want to run a spare set of wheels and tires so I don't kill my daily driver tires. Yeah, I could not do burnouts every passes, but the problem is I'm going to wind up spinning either way. I'm either going to spin it for the burnout, or I'm going to spin from the launch because the tires are cold. Even though it doesn't make a lot of power, it has no weight on the back, and it's a pretty torquey engine, so I wouldn't be surprised if I spun a little bit with the Nexans on it right now, because Nexans aren't necessarily the stickiest of tires. So that's kind of what I need to do right now, is I need to throw on, a spare set of wheels and tires, probably welds with some ET Street SS's or ET Street R's on them, just to, help me out a little bit. I plan on buying them used because I'm not spending $800 to $1,000 on a tire setup that I'm only going to run every once in a while. Hopefully by the time I'm ready to buy this set I've been looking at on Facebook Marketplace, which I doubt is going to be there in almost a year from now, is a set of I think it's Weld Pro Stars, I think they're called. I'm not sure. I don't remember off the top of my head, but they're 15s. I'm going to run 15-inch drag radials on the truck. So that's kind of the goal from there. Like I said, it's overkill, but it's going to help me a lot with doing burnouts on, not killing my Nexans, because I plan on doing burnout every single pass. And thankfully, ET Street tires are fairly cheap to replace compared to something like a Pirelli P0 or something like that. So that's kind of my goal, is to run a set of welds. One, because it looks good. A lot of cars, pretty much every car that I've seen that runs welds, it makes it look 10 times better. And two, because it'll help me out not kill my street tires. It'll help me get maximum grip off the line, even though I really shouldn't need it. So the next essential, and this is truly an essential that is going to be definitely needed besides the helmet, because I think the main two essentials are the helmet and this, is the limited slip diff. So I believe the 4x4 trucks came with them. I'm not entirely sure. I can't confirm that. But the two-wheel drive trucks did not. And I plan on getting, instead of just going out and buying some used rear end out of another car, I plan on getting a brand new rear end for the truck from Ford Racing, or possibly going the GT500 diff if I can find it for cheaper. Again, brand new. I don't plan on buying used rear end parts, because used car parts in general is just something I choose not to really go for besides wheels. So that's kind of that. I plan on running 410 gears as well. A lot of people are going to complain, be like, oh, your gas mileage. Here's the thing. I don't drive the truck on the interstate enough to really worry about that fifth gear overdrive extra RPM that much. So it's not going to be that much of a difference for me. It's going to cause a difference. There's no doubt. I'm going to lose a few miles per gallon. I also plan on running a catch can, so it's going to help out, a little bit, especially with the high mileage engine. And it's still gonna take a drop, but I don't expect it to be as big as a lot of people have been complaining about who are running 410s right now. Who knows? Maybe I'll top it out, and I doubt I'll top it out with the 410s in it, but on the drag strip. But we'll just have to wait and see. From there, again, that's kind of the essentials. So what about the extra stuff? What am I gonna think I'm gonna need? Obviously, I want to run some sort of engine saving, stuff. Obviously, in the new engine, I plan on having my block rebuilt in January or February, somewhere in that time frame. And the goal is to be able to install a set of head studs from ARP, which will help me out with a boost application. I don't know if I'll be able to put the boost in at the time. Hopefully, I can. If not, no biggie. I can wait. From there, I'll be able to swap in a supercharger setup that I've been looking at and I've built pretty much online already. You know, I just obviously got to order and install it whenever I get the money to. Because again, I've said in multiple videos, I'm not made out of money. I'm not a lot of these bigger YouTubers that are sponsored and, you know, have thousands to spare. I'm lucky if I have $300, $400 to my name half the time. But anyway, my money aside, the supercharger setup will cost about $2,000, which isn't really bad at all. It's an Eaton M112, M112. It's an M112 off of a Cobra with a Cobra intake and stuff like that. I plan on running possibly the Whipple throttle body. I might run that. If not, I'll probably try to get a hold of like a VMP throttle body or something like that if they make that for the Cobra blowers. Obviously aerate intake or something like that. I obviously will need a heat exchanger of some sort to help out with the you know, the temperatures and stuff like that. I've already got my eye on one. And the truck should be good for about, you know, especially because I don't plan on running the 8 psi pulley on it. I plan on running about 10 to 14 pounds. We should be relatively safe. I don't think we should be having any issues on that end. I still need a fuel pump and injector upgrade and a MAF upgrade, which is no big deal. Pretty easy stuff to do. So shouldn't be a problem at all. From there, the truck should be golden to run a record pass for a sport track. Obviously, even without the supercharger setup, I should be pretty good to set up for the current record, which is the 16.1. So that shouldn't be a problem for me at all. I honestly don't think I'm going to be having any issues with, you know, contesting it at least. I don't know about beating it because I don't know what my truck's capable of on the drag strip. But as it sits right now, I feel like I can at least contest it. Especially when I have the welds on, the 410s, and the limited slip. I should not have a issue with contesting with the record, especially since the record holder is a 4x4. So, but that's kind of that. I just thought I'd chat a little bit about, you know, what the future of this truck's going to hold. It's not, like I said, it's not going to be some sort of crazy. It's just a 6-level drag car. It's going to be something that I daily drive on the side. It's going to be something that's going to have full interior. It's just going to be a fun truck to drive. Obviously, I'm concerned with the automatic. The 5R is still is still about as fragile as glass. So, I mean, I'm going to have to tread carefully. But hopefully I don't kill another one anytime soon, or I may have to invest in a built trans, which is going to suck. It'll be like that sometimes. So anyway, guys, hope you all enjoyed this little sit down. I know you guys hate sit downs as much as I do because it's just talking. But I honestly didn't have any other videos to film today, and I thought it'd be cool to just talk about the drag scene for next year. I'm pretty much making it official right now. I plan on racing next year, so. I know it's a long way from now. Next drag season is going to start till like April or May, so it's going to be a while, but that gives me plenty of time for me to crank out a lot of build videos for you guys, especially once I start getting the money together and start getting parts made to get going. It's going to be awesome. So hope you're all looking forward to it. Again, this is all up in the air. I'm not confirming anything. I'm not confirming the supercharger setup. I'm not even confirming the rebuilt engine. It's all up in the air in plans at this point. There's nothing I can safely say is 100% happening. It's all just, you know, speculation at this point. But anyway, hope you all enjoyed. I apologize this video was long. I've got a quiz to take. It's already I think it's already past midnight, so I've got a quiz to take and a discussion post to write still because I've been lazy and I've just been sitting here playing video games all night. Look at me procrastinating. Anyway, guys, I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one, everyone.